Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another DVC availability video for the month of March 2024, and we are looking at booking in the month of July 2023. This is about 8 months before the trip that I have set planned. And again, thank you for joining me today. I just would like to make these videos available for people looking into joining Disney Vacation Club and have questions about whether or not they are able to get rooms during the time of the year that they typically travel. So I did some research on spring break, and most of the spring breaks are going to be in March or April. And for this one, I'm going to do specifically Arizona spring break because I'm in Arizona, which is going to be the week of 17th to the 23rd. Again, we're going to look at some of the availability for all room categories and in all of the DVC resorts. Thank you for joining me for this video. Let's get started. Okay, so we are going to start with the Disney Saratoga Spring Resort. This is one of my personal home resorts, and so it's going to pop up towards the top of the list. And with this one, you can see that the rooms that show full availability will pop up on the top of the search tab. So for the standard room, the week of the spring break, the week that I am choosing is fully available. And so we'll just kind of go through each and every room type of every resort to show availability for these rooms. One thing I'd like to take note in for this time of year is going to be the number of vacation points for each stay is going to vary, but specifically for the week of spring break is going to be more vacation points needed. As we continue on through each of these room types, there will be more availability for the higher point rooms, as there's going to be less people having the amount of points necessary to book rooms in these weeks. So as we continue through, typically Saratoga Springs is going to be fully available most of the times of the year. There may be some days, peak times, that Disney Vacation Club members will book these rooms up and have less availability. Alright, we will be finishing up. Notice that different room categories, there's going to be a standard and a preferred view at the Saratoga Springs Resort. Okay, our next resort is going to be the Disney's Animal Kingdom Village Jambo House. This is another one of my home resorts, so it will pop up towards the top of the list. As you can see here, the Standard View Deluxe Studio will be available during this particular week in March. Again, this is about 3 weeks before 7-month mark, and all Disney Vacation Club members will be able to book at this resort. And we will look towards the Savannah view. There is full availability in the month of March and the week that we chose. And then we go towards the 1 bedroom is going to be fully available. What I really like about the rooms at Jambo House is that a standard view room will have some obstructed view of the Savannah. So all rooms in Jambo House, besides some of the value rooms, those will have some parking lot views, but for the most part, all DVC standard views will have views of a Savannah, which is really nice, or the pool. As we continue going on, the 3-bedroom Grand Villa. And as we continue on, we're going to notice that there's going to be some unavailable room categories in Jambo House. Specifically, we're going to be looking at those value rooms, most likely 1 bedroom. We are able to get 4 nights during the week that we chose. You could be able to get the weekend before if you wanted to go earlier, but there is sporadic availability for these 1 bedroom value, and specifically value in general is hard to book. You want to make sure you plan those at least 11 months in advance, if not further, to get the room that you want. For one bedroom club concierge, there's only 5 of these rooms. They do use a lot of points. You could see in February there is no availability. In April there is some availability. Particularly in March there is more availability. So as we enter the 7th month mark, you do want to make sure you have these rooms available. We can see for the value studio, it is impossible to book at this time of the year. At this point, you do want to make sure you book these rooms at least 11 months in advance. It kind of going same theme with the club concierge rooms. The deluxe studio only has 5 of these rooms, so these rooms go really fast at 11th months, so 8 months probably no availability most of the year. And then we see a 2-bedroom lock-off for value, and then for the club concierge. Alright, moving on to Old Key West, you will notice that these rooms are available in the month of March, but as you see in February, towards the time of the 7th month mark, these rooms do book up fast. I would encourage you, if you want a deluxe studio at Old Key West, to own a contract there if you would like a full week. 1 bedrooms are easier to get, along with 2 bedrooms. The hospitality house category is a little harder to book. There are less rooms available, so you will have a little harder time to book if you are not an owner at this resort. You can pay attention. Again, I like to point out that the number of vacation points used for these weeks will be higher than other times of the year, as March and April are peak travel time for Disney Vacation Club members. They do require more points to use. As you can see here, there is only a couple rooms not available this week of the stay, this being the Near Hospitality House Deluxe Studio. There is some random Thursdays that are fully booked, so you are unable to book the full week. Otherwise, you can book the week starting and the weekend as well for this resort. Same thing goes with the Near Hospitality House 2-bedroom lock-off, and going to be the 3-bedroom Grand Villa Near Hospitality House is unavailable most of the month of March, so you will need to book these rooms at least in the 10 to 11 month booking window. Remember, this is the 8th month before booking these rooms. Okay, for rooms fully available at Beach Club Villas during the 8th month mark are going to be those 1 bedrooms. Remember, these rooms do use higher amount of points, so there are going to be more availability for members specifically, but if you look for non-members at the 7th month mark, completely gone. So you can wait a little while if you do not plan trips 11 months in advance. 9 months is okay, 8 months is okay, but as you get closer to 7 months, your rooms may become unavailable. This is again the 2-bedroom, and then the only real room not available is going to be that deluxe studio room. There's only going to be a few nights towards the end of the week, but the week after that and several weeks in April will be available. And then the 2-bedroom lock-off, same, it follows the schedule of a studio. Okay, as we move on to Aulani in Hawaii, you will notice that some of these rooms are going to be more booked up, but these higher point rooms, such as the Island Garden View, the Ocean View, Poolside Garden View, will be more available. Again, looking towards the 7th month mark, you are going to miss a lot of dates, but if you're booking in the 7th to 11th month home window, you should be fine. Owning points at Aulani is good for those who know that they want to travel to Hawaii every year and want to travel at the same time. The points at Aulani do fluctuate quite frequently between times. They do not follow the typical pattern of, let's say, Walt Disney World Vacation Club resorts. So March is a relatively high time, but not as high as some resorts in Walt Disney World. They do require more points, though, in general, just not the specific time of year that we're looking at. We see that most of these rooms are going to be fully available, and which is really nice for home owners of Aulani, as these rooms will be easy to book. The one room you could see here towards the end of the next week, which is the week of Easter, is a little bit harder to book in some of these room categories. And then now we're moving on to the lock-offs, fully available there. And the dedicated island garden view is going to be fully available. There is some availability in the 7th month mark, but you definitely want to book these rooms as early as you can if you know you are wanting to stay in Hawaii. Planning ahead is very key. There are peak times of Aulani where they are completely sold out, cash and DVC rooms. Alright, we are moving on to the more expensive, more point heavy rooms, being the Ocean View 2-bedroom and the Ocean View Grand Villa. These rooms do use up a lot of points. As you can see here, 6 nights does cost around 480 points. And then for the 3-bedroom Ocean View, this room will cost 969 points. The 2 or 3 room categories that you're going to have a hard time is going to be the standard room categories. So in this case, the deluxe studio is the weekend before and after are booked, but the week during the week is okay. Then the 1-bedroom standard, and then going to the hotel rooms, there's about 8 of those rooms where they take a regular hotel room, 2 queen beds, and you can use your points. They're really low cost, so a lot of members do buy Aulani contracts to book those rooms at the 11th month booking window. And then there will be one last room that is going to have no availability, and that is going to be the Standard View Grand Villa. One point to note is that one of the Standard View Grand Villas is currently being used for room tours by Disney Vacation Club. That leaves just one Standard View to book, and I do know that there is a lot of guaranteed weeks for Disney Vacation Club at Aulani, which then takes up the rest of the weeks, as there's only one room to book. We are moving on to Bay Lake Tower, another point heavy resort. We are looking at the Lake View room, which is a good value. There are a lot of them, so between 8 and 9 months you can get a room if you do not plan ahead. Same thing goes with the theme park view rooms. They are a little bit heavier on the points, so less people tend to book those. We see that the 1-bedroom standard is actually available the week we're going to go, which is really nice, but the week before isn't. So if you are one to plan later, then you would want to make sure at least 8 months to 9 months before you travel, you want to book your rooms there. 1-bedroom Lakeview is going to get you full availability for the week of March 17th, but it does cost 258 Vacation Club points. 1-bedroom theme park view is going to be more available, as it's almost 50 points a night for this resort. So it is very point heavy during the month of March. Lockups typically tend to follow the deluxe studio, because if a 1-bedroom or a deluxe studio is unavailable, a lockup will be unavailable that day. Typically, deluxe studios will book out before one bedrooms. So you typically look at the studio availability to know if you can get the lock off availability. And we are moving into the more expensive. As you can see, it's 401 points for a 2-bedroom theme park view. It is a lot of points, but the view of Magic Kingdom is really nice, and I can see why a lot of vacation club members will use their points at this category. Then for full availability, it's going to be that Lake View 3-bedroom grand villa. Really nice view of Magic Kingdom if you can get a room, or of Contemporary and Bay Lake itself. And then theme park view rooms are going to be available for the 3-bedroom grand villa. It costs 143 points during the week, which is a lot of vacation club points, when the typical starter contract is 150 points. You're using 1 year's allotment of points for one night. Now there are going to be some standard view rooms that are going to be unavailable. Those are going to be needing to be booked probably 10 to 11 months before your travel window. This is again 8 months before. You could definitely see that the calendar is filling up for these days, and the studio is going to follow suit with having limited availability. Surprisingly, there is availability towards the beginning of the month, and there's a couple weekends where you are able to book up some rooms, but for the majority part, you are going to need to book here earlier than later. Now we're going on to the lock-off rooms. There are going to be a few days available on that as well. The next resort is going to be the villas at Grand Floridian Resort. Surprisingly, I found that almost every single room is going to be available for the week of March 17th. So if you do plan later and you own Grand Floridian points, I would book here. Keep in mind that there is going to be less availability as they sell out on Grand Floridian contracts, as this is currently being sold by Disney Vacation Club. So as more points become sold, there is going to be more people being able to purchase or book these rooms during that week. Again, Grand Floridian is a point-heavy resort, so there will be more points necessary. As you can see, a studio will cost roughly 27 points a night for a lake view room, and the Lagoon View Resort Studio is the same category as a deluxe studio lake view. It is going to be fully available in the month of March. And then with the Big Pine Key Resort Studios, there is an additional room category of theme park view. This is the most expensive resort in terms of theme park studios. It's going to cost you 34 points a night. You can get some 1 bedrooms during this time for that many points. Again, moving on to standard view 1 bedroom is going to be available that week. And then same with the lake view 1 bedroom. There is going to be full availability that week and in April for those traveling 8 to 9 months before their vacate or before they book. And then moving on, we're going to see this 2-bedroom standard is going to be fully available that week. Again, I'd like to point out it does cost for 6 nights, 400 vacation club points. These rooms are really nice. They just got renovated about 6 months ago, so these rooms are really nice and fresh and clean. Again, the 2-bedroom Lakeview is going to cost you roughly 75 points per night. There's only a couple rooms unavailable, and that's going to be the 3-bedroom Grand Villa Lakeview. Thursday and Friday night, there must be a party or something to have these rooms blocked off during that week. Alright, we are going to move on to Disney's Animal Kingdom Villa's Kidani Village, which is a dedicated DVC Disney Vacation Club resort. These rooms are plentiful, so there will be less likely unavailability 7 to 8 months before. Again, we're looking 8 months before, and in March, there's no problem booking any of the room categories, the deluxe studio, the one bedroom. What I really like about the one bedrooms at the Kidani Village is that they have an extra bathroom that you can use for guests staying in the living area, or if people are visiting you in the villa, they can use that restroom rather than the master bedroom, which in Jambo House, they only have one bathroom. And in the two bedroom, they'll have an additional bathroom as well, makes 3 bathrooms total. And in the Grand Villa, there will be 4 total bathrooms. Again, I just like to point out that there are the number of vacation points used for this booking does go up with the higher value rooms, such as the Savannah View or a bigger unit like a 2 bedroom. You could see a standard view. You can go for 6 nights for 321 points, which is really nice. If you have a 150 point contract, you can bank and borrow to get these rooms. One thing I was noticing is that the 3 bedroom is available in the standard view. There are only 2 of them, which is really surprising that they don't get booked up sooner. Okay, for those who are able to book Riviera, we're going to look at some of the Riviera room categories. Pretty much all of the room categories are going to be available. You see the standard view is going to be a little bit harder to get if you do not own at the Riviera with Riviera points. You could possibly get the week of the spring break. Preferred view is going to be more points, but in my opinion, standard view does have the better view. Most standard views will have a view of Epcot, and most preferred view will have views of the lake and pool area. And we're looking at the 1 bedroom standard view is almost fully available February, March, and April. So if you do not have points at Riviera and are waiting to book at the 7-month mark, you have a higher chance of booking this room. Again, you're looking at the number of vacation club points used for the room. For this 1 bedroom, it's going to cost you 328 points. As we saw before, you can get a 2 bedroom Savannah View Animal Kingdom Kidani Village room for closely the same amount of points. As Disney Vacation Club builds new resorts, they tend to cost more points for each night. And we are moving on to the 2 bedroom rooms, gonna have full availability. And in the preferred view, they are going to have full availability as well. Does cost 71 points per night though. Keep in mind that for Riviera, preferred views are going to be more inventory, so these rooms also will take longer to book up. And you notice that the 3 bedroom Grand Villa is available most of the nights in February, March, and April. Does cost roughly 140 vacation club points. And there is one category that is unavailable, and that is the Tower Studio. If you want to book for 2 people, you are wanting to book 7 to 11 months, most likely 10 to 11 months in advance. If you are wanting to get these standard Tower Studio rooms, they are really nice, but the downside is they do only sleep 2 people, so limited space, but their point cost is much lower. Alright, now we are looking at the Copper Creek Villas and Cabins. So the first category is going to be the deluxe studio with a walk-in shower, a specific deluxe studio category at the Copper Creek Villas. we can see that during this week there is full availability for our stay, although the weeks before are taken. So if you typically want a walk-in shower rather than a tub, I would book that room earlier. Same thing goes with the regular deluxe studio with the tub. There is hardly any availability the weeks before, but there is full availability for our specific week. One bedroom typically are going to be more available than the deluxe studios just because of the per night point price. And for the deluxe or the 2-bedroom lock-off is going to be available for our stay. Now with Copper Creek, it is a really nice and newer resort, so I was surprised that they went with the same point chart as Boulder Ridge, which is a older resort, so it did follow an older resort point per night price. Then we also have the cabins, which are always typically available at the 7th month mark. There may be some peak times that it's not, but for the most part it's going to be. Now Copper Creek is different than Boulder Ridge. It does have 3-bedroom grand villas and it's full availability there. Our next resort is going to be Vero Beach, Disney's Vero Beach Resort, and the first room category is going to be those deluxe in-room standard views are going to be the lowest per night point price, and those are full availability, along with the deluxe studios that are in the outer buildings. Those are also full availability. Then a little bit more points per night is going to be the ocean view of the inn, and then full availability for the 1-bedroom categories, and the 2-bedroom lock-off is also, along with the 2-bedroom, is going to be full availability during this peak time, spring break. Now you do notice the only 1-room category that is not available is going to be those 3-bedroom beach cottages, and I found this pretty interesting. They are the most points per night, but there's so few of them that Wednesday and Thursday somehow were taken, and then that leaves the rest of the month full availability. Our next resort is going to be Disney's Boardwalk Villas. As you can already see, there is going to be a few different rooms that are not going to be fully available, but for the garden pool view is going to be available for the week of our stay. The weeks before and all of February is going to be unavailable, so definitely want to book these rooms with your 7th to 11th month home resort priority. Then the 1-bedroom is going to be a garden pool view that has full availability, a little bit more availability in February than previous with the studio. Then it's going to be the lock-off version of the garden and pool view, which again is going to be available for our stay, but not for the weeks prior. And then actually for full availability is going to be that 3-bedroom grand villa, but you do notice towards the 7th month that it does get booked up, so definitely book this room in the 7th to 11th month home priority. Boardwalk view rooms are very popular at this resort, so definitely want to own points at a Boardwalk if you want to book at a Boardwalk view category, such as a 1-bedroom or the deluxe studio or 2-bedroom lock-off. The week we're going, there's only 1 night available for the Boardwalk view rooms, which is not too surprising, and all of February is gone. Again, the 2-bedroom lock-off does follow the pattern of the studio, so it is not available then either. We look at the studio standard view is going to be fully unavailable. There is some days in April and in March that are available, but definitely want to book these rooms as soon as possible, about 10 to 11 months before your stay, just because of availability issues and the point per night price. The 1-bedroom is also not available at all during March and February. And same pattern with the 2-bedroom lock-off. Alright, with Boulder Ridge, we do see that for the most part, all the rooms are going to be available. This resort just got recently refurbished, so the rooms look really nice. And at the 8-month mark, we are seeing full availability. Towards the 7th month, when everybody is able to book, it does get booked up pretty fast. So definitely want to own points at Boulder Ridge if you want to get a full week there. One bedroom is a different story with the more points per night. They're going to last a little bit longer for members to book if you do not own at Boulder Ridge. With the 2-bedroom lock-off, we do see the full availability that we did see with the studio and with the 1-bedroom. Dedicated 2 bedrooms are going to be also fully available. One thing with the dedicated 2-bedroom is the layout is a little bit different than the lock-off. Now moving on to the Polynesian villas and bungalows, we do see that there is going to be full availability for a standard view deluxe studio. There is going to be easier time at Polynesian because there are over 200 studios, so studios don't get taken up as much, but Lakeview is a little bit more per night than the standard, but you do have views of the Magic Kingdom and of the Seven Seas Lagoon, which is really nice. And of course, we always have these bungalows. They are going to be fully available during the 7 to 11 months. There for 6 nights is about 1,000 points. Moving on to one of the hardest categories to book is going to be at the villas at Grand Californian Hotel. For the 1-bedroom is going to be fully available if you own points in the 7 to 11th month priority window. There is going to be hardly any options at the 7th month mark, but after that is going to be pretty easy to get, just nothing sooner than 7 months. We also see that with the 2 bedrooms is going to be really hard to get except during the 7 to 11th month booking window. And if we look at the Grand Villas, it will follow a similar pattern, although in April there are certain days where they are booked, and the week before our current stay is going to be booked as well. Now we are going to see the rooms that are not available is going to be that deluxe studio. Those are really hard to book, but for us, we could get the latter end of our stay, just not the first 2 nights. So there must be something going on the first 2 nights to have these booked up. And of course, the lock-off will follow the pattern of the studio, so those rooms will be available the last portion of the stay rather than the first part. We are moving on. As we see with the Hilton Head Island Resort is going to have some non-availability for our stay. For the most part, the 2-bedroom is going to be the most available. I do like that this resort during March, it is a low cost per night. For 2-bedroom is 24 points, and for a 3-bedroom is only going to be 47 points per night. That is really low for the type of room category. If you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort, it is going to probably be double that. Then we can see for 1-bedroom is only 20 points per night. It is really low, and for some reason all the Wednesdays are booked up at this resort during the month of March, so you have to break your trip up. And Deluxe Studio is only available on the weekends in March, so definitely have your 7 to 11th month home priority if booking a room here at Hilton Head during spring break period. I do want to thank you so much for staying with me in this video. Please comment down below when your next Disney World vacation or DVC trip is going to be. Thank you so much.